I don't know, how do you process what you have heard over the period since the visitation to Ofori-Atta's home and then the OSP's press conference?
So, I mean, is my mic working all right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so, I mean, when your producer reached out and we're discussing, I was like, I don't have any specific insights into these matters. Like everybody else, I'm listening to the discussion in the media and the rest. And typically, we, from an Imani point of view, we tend to react when we have done our own research and we have specific insights to give. But there are a number of points that I can make. I was bewildered by the sequence of events because initially, as you've catalogued in terms of the narrative that we've seen so far, there was confusion whether or not the OSP had anything to do with it, and the OSP felt that they had to very strongly assert their lack of participation in this military raid, or so-called national security raid. Then the CCTV footage came. In fact, the first time I heard of this matter was on a WhatsApp group, which is a private WhatsApp group, where somebody mentioned that this incident had occurred, and that there was this suggestion that the military was involved. That, of course, was strange, because typically you have military raids if there is expectation of violence or terrorism, those kinds of incidents where potentially law enforcement agents, including the police, may be at risk because the people involved are armed or something like that. We don't typically mount military raids on civil targets. So that was confusing. Then eventually became quite clear that this was an operation that had the involvement of either members in the National Security Secretariat or persons assigned to the National Security Coordinator. That one we get somebody in Parliament now apologizing on behalf of national security. And to me, everything seems completely disorganized. Is this authorized by the national security authorities or not? Because if it's authorized by the national security authorities, then why is the majority leader apologizing for their conduct?
Yeah, so now that is confirmed. This was a national security operation.
True.
So the majority leader clearly didn't get his information before he went apologizing.
Very, very strange. And everything has been strange right from the very beginning till now. Certain things are clearer, but we still have a lot of murkiness. I'll give you an example. When the famous declaration of fugitive status came, I quickly checked the list of wanted persons, and I realized that there were only 4 people that had been publicly declared as wanted by the OSP at present. I'm pretty sure they have had other declarations in the past. Sadia Hassan, Anthony Jesse, one Frank Asare, if the name is right. And my view of the matter then was that, this
they did for process? Charles Bisu also, yeah.
Yes, but I think in terms of people that are currently, I think Derek Esman, Asumanin, Frank Jesse, Anthony Asare, and Sadia Hassan. So I was assuming that perhaps the declaration was still in process, as in this is not yet concluded, and at the time of the press conference, it was still underway. Now I understand that the OSP actually also has an arrest warrant, which is kind of interesting. And we have been told that, as you've just disclosed, the National Security also has an arrest warrant. So it does appear as if these are operations of the state, properly sanctioned. I have not seen the video that is being complained about, because that could potentially change my view. If, as lawyer, the gentleman who just spoke, lawyer Frank Davis.
Frank Davis, yeah.
If, as he suggests, the conduct of these security agents were completely unacceptable, then of course we will have cause to be worried, because even when you have an arrest warrant, etc., you are still required to be professional in your conduct, not to abuse the rights of suspects, etc. But so far, I think we are all literally just, trying to piece together a bewildering array of information, and it's very difficult to say one way or the other, conclusively, whether somebody is at fault.
Interesting. The matters that the OSP is saying that Ken Ofori-Atta is being investigated for, Strategic Mobilization Limited and the GRA. Strategic Mobilization, remember, it's SML. That became very topical. Manasseh Azore-Awini's investigations, and civil society, particularly the ASEP, who did the work and unraveled wrongs that were going on in that area. You remember that this institution was asked to do an investigation around it by the president. They did, and they found a number of wrongs that had gone on with the process. They say there's the ECG and Beijing technology contract termination, the National Cathedral project. Remember the National Cathedral project, monies that were advanced without parliamentary oversight or some other breaches. Procurement of ambulances, you have heard about that. And they say the GRA's tax refund account payments. What's your understanding, perhaps in the general terms, about how serious these will be to warrant the OSP's posture, not to say, look, I want to give you all the space and work at your pace?
So for those specific ones, apart from the GRA matter, which I know nothing about, in each instance, there is documented fiscal waste, frightening levels of documented fiscal waste. The OSP, on that, to be entirely honest, the OSP's role and mandate is corruption enforcement, anti-corruption enforcement.
That's right.
So in Ghana, we define corruption pretty narrowly. It really is almost bribery and a few other things, abusing of public office for private benefit. I don't have specific evidence of bribery, and I don't have specific evidence that public office was abused in a particular manner. But what we do know from the work that we've done in respect of SML, the Beijing technology contract, I think that is the one that is related to what we now have with the smart meter, one of the earlier smart meter projects.
Okay.
The National Cathedral, we've been loud critics of the way in which money has been spent. The service auto issue is well known as well in terms of the ambulances. So these are areas where the Republic has lost hundreds of millions of dollars, literally. And is still, in some cases, still on the hook to lose even more money. Whether or not they amount to corruption and bribery is a matter that is entirely within the purview of the special prosecutor, because it's provided no information whatsoever. Perhaps he could have given us a bit of a summary in each case why he thinks these are corruption and bribery matters. But from a financial management point of view, yes, we've had great concern with it. And of course, in most of these instances, you have multiple actors in the government, multiple civil servants, etc., etc. So if he's pinpointed the role of the finance minister, then perhaps he's suggesting that he's personally capable of facilitating some of these activities. We don't have the information. So it's really difficult. That's why I said I was really, really, really challenged talking about this particular situation when your producer reached out.
Okay, thank you very much. So the Deputy Attorney General designates. Why? Why are you laughing? You prefer to be referred to what you were up to